Hi, I'm Abby, former pharmacist turned health coach, specializing in willpower and motivation. I help women stick to their plan so that they can lose weight, feel amazing, have energy, and really live their lives and show up how they want to without all the battling and fighting and restricting and cravings and white knuckling it. So let's go. All right, so let's talk about shoulds. So when it comes to this topic, I first off want to give credit where credit is due. Um, I didn't realize that I was shutting the shit out of myself until recently, the last several years. Working with Kristen Messagey. She is an Enneagram 6 life coach. She is my coach and my friend. And it has been life changing for me. I don't want to like be cliche about it, but this concept of shoulds and shoulding has just really been instrumental in kind of understanding the way that my brain is talking to me, like my own self-talk. Um, and and in terms of motivating myself and getting the willpower to do the things that I want to do, it has just been kind of a total game changer. And so I want to talk through shoulds and shoulding the shit out of yourself today. Okay, so what do I mean when I say should or shoulding? So things like you should eat more vegetables. You should eat less sugar. You should go to sleep earlier and you should have a bedtime routine. You should get up early and go outside and take a walk and like all of these things that we tell other people and people tell us, and the internal shoulds, the things that you think in your head. You should be trying harder. You should be doing better. This should be easier for you. You should be earning more money. You should be working out more. Like all of these things that we hear in our heads, that are trying. I think that the purpose of shoulding, trying to be helpful, right? Like we know eating vegetables would make us feel better. We know getting more sleep would give us more energy, but we don't. We don't want to a lot of the times. And so by using this should language with this intention, it's trying to get us to do the thing. Our brain thinks by telling us that we should be doing these things, that it will actually get us to do these things that we say we want to do, right? So, but the truth of the matter is that shoulding doesn't work. I can think of some examples in my own life. I actually just was doing laundry today, and I stumbled across a little hack around a should. So I have this belief that I should be better at doing laundry and keeping up with dishes and all of these kind of household tasks. Like I should be good at them and like them. I should enjoy doing them. Okay. I also have beliefs that like I shouldn't have to do those. Just because I'm the woman doesn't mean that I should do those, right? So I have this like shoulds that are actually in opposition to each other. But the truth is that like laundry needs to get done and dishes need to get done. And when I have that, you should be doing this, you should enjoy this, you should really be taking this on, you're at home or you should be doing this. It's like painful because I just don't want to do it. And then that's where it gets like I'm shooting the shit out of myself, is because I'm telling myself I should do it, but I'm not actually doing it, right? So what I realized today is I have been playing a little game lately where I like it when my husband goes to do laundry and he's like, "Oh, the laundry's done," or something like that. And that's funny for me. Like, haha, I fooled him, or like I surprised him. That's so fun. Um, and with that as my motivation, I've been doing a really good job getting dishes, staying on top of the dishes, staying on top of laundry, in a, doing my part to take care of the house, right? It's not just me. Um, so I'm doing the thing that the should wanted me to do, right? I'm doing the laundry, I'm helping with dishes. Uh, but I'm like not enjoying it, but I'm not dreading it. I'm not resisting it. I'm not feeling all this resistance and shame about not doing the thing. So that is an example of where these shoulds can be in opposition, and really shoulding the shit out of yourself is about like shoulding yourself to do something, shoulding yourself for not doing it. And really it just creates this zone of stuckness and resistance in an attempt to control, and it doesn't get you the result that you want. So, okay. So the other thing that I want to talk to you about around this is this idea of hidden shoulds. Hidden shoulds is a module in my program, the Willpower Solution. And because I think it's so important, the example that came up on a call recently was a client of mine that I've worked with. She was talking about how she really wants to be able to sit down at night and watch one of her favorite shows. But she doesn't. And if she does sit down and do it, she is multitasking. She's folding laundry, she's checking emails, she's like doing all this stuff because she doesn't think that she's allowed to sit down and just enjoy the show. And she would really like to be able to do that because she misses things and ends up having to go back and rewatch the show, which she does not like, right? So she just couldn't figure out why this was so upsetting to her. And what I helped her realize was that she was shoulding the shit out of herself. So what do I mean by that? The shoulds that were going on in her head were simultaneously, you should be able to sit down and watch a show. You should be able to give your 100% focus to that. You shouldn't have to go back and watch it again. You shouldn't just sit down and rest for a half hour. You should be multitasking and accomplishing things. You should be getting these other things done while you're doing that. And so she was creating these oppositional shoulds. And what ended up happening for her is she would sit down to watch it, but multitask, not enjoy it, have to go back and watch it. And it was the same thing, this very much stuck situation. And that's not useful. Right? Because she wasn't enjoying the show. She was getting things done, but in a very resentful way, right? Okay. So, having said all of this, what can we do instead? And how does it relate to willpower? So, historically for me, I have thought about willpower and self-control and discipline from a very shamey and shouldy place. And I just want to say, when I hear the word should in my head, or I identify a hidden should, I automatically think of shame. I'm shaming myself in order to get some behavior, or someone is shaming me in order to get some behavior, or I am shoulding someone else to get some behavior. Okay. So should equals shame in my head. Just to make note. So historically, I have used shame and shoulds to try to get myself to have willpower, have discipline around eating habits or exercising, sleeping, all these sorts of things. And surprise, surprise, it doesn't work, right? We think that it is working because it works for like a couple days. But not long term. And I don't know about you, but a couple days of, doing what I say I want to do, sticking to my plan, a couple days of that is not enough, right? It's better than 0 days, but it's not. What I want is some consistency, some frequency over a longer period of time, right? And so if I know that shoulding myself and shaming myself to try to build up the momentum and build up the motivation and have the willpower if that doesn't work, what is the alternative? What can I do? And I think the key to this is figuring out what you actually want, what you actually desire. I know for me personally, I think for a very large portion of my life, I made most of my choices based on what I thought I should do, what culture was telling me I should do, what family was telling me I should do. And I did that. I was great at it, and it was, good while it lasted. Um, when I and I really didn't I had a hard time identifying what I actually wanted. Like, what do I enjoy? What do I want from my life? What do I want to do in my daily life? How do I want to show up? When I started asking myself those questions, at first I couldn't even really answer them other than, well, I know I should do this, this, and this, right? And so when I was able to start to slowly dig out, what are my values? What are my priorities? How do I want to show up for myself, for my family, as a business owner, as a coach? When I was able to tap into what my actual desires are, then I was able to take a step back from the shoulds. I could hear the should in my head, like, you really should show up on social media every day if you want to connect with new clients. Because I had that thought, but I wasn't doing it, right? And so I was able to take a step back. Okay, if I want to connect with clients in the world, how would I show up? Probably I would be on social media, right? I would be out in the community connecting with people and learning what people are struggling with and how I can be of service, which is a very, very different experience than I should really be doing that, and I am shaming myself for not doing it, right? So does that make sense? Essentially, I guess to sum that up, when we are living in this world of shoulding ourselves or allowing other people to should us, we can really just be going through without ever tapping into what it is that we want. And when we are able to tap into what is our values, what is a priority to us, how do we want to show up, we're able to sometimes do those things that we were trying to should ourselves to do. We end up doing those things, but because we want to, but because we want the result that comes from it. Okay, so I hope that this is useful for you. I hope that you can start to, and perhaps I would rather say that as I invite you to just start paying attention to the thoughts that come up automatically in your brain, and start to identify the shoulds that you're hearing. You don't have to worry about changing anything right off the bat. Just start to notice them and slow it down and see if there is a hidden should. Sometimes when I'm feeling very activated and angry and resentful about something, I will discover that there is a should underneath it. And that's why I'm feeling so resentful and not doing the thing, resisting and putting off doing the thing, right? So I invite you to pay attention, slow it down, pause, notice those shoulds, and maybe start to connect into, and this is maybe a whole other separate episode, but what we actually want isn't usually up in our head and our thoughts. It's usually down in our bodies. And it's like that gut reaction, or that it in your heart or in your gut. Those are the things that can help drive our actions, our new habits, and figuring out if we want to stick to the plan that our brain has created. All right, that's all I got for shoulds. I hope that you are able to join me in working towards not shoulding the shit out of yourself.
All right. So if this resonated with you, if you found this useful, if you'd like to dig in a bit more, I want to share with you a free resource that I offer called a willpower assessment call. So this call is for you if you have out of control cravings, if you're trying to lower those processed carbs or make some changes in your life, if you're trying to lose weight by battling and fighting and resisting and restricting against your body, if you know what to do, but you just can't do it, this call is for you. On the call, we will talk about your specific willpower goal and why you want it, obstacles and challenges that kind of have derailed your success, and the self sabotage that comes along with it. I am so excited to personally, it'll be me, jump on a call and see how we can help you. If at the end of the call we're a good fit, I'll let you know the other resources that I have available, including my program, The Willpower Solution. But if not, I will send you on your way, point you to some more resources that will be great for you. As always, you can find me in my Facebook group, No Willpower, No Problem, and on Instagram at Abbi Linde. I can't wait to connect.